The medical industry has come a long way from the days when people were treated with leeches and mercury. Today's medicines are the result of centuries of evolution, from the earliest herbal remedies to the cutting-edge gene editing technology of CRISPR, but it wasn't always an easy road. Some of the most harmful drugs ever used are still in use today, and some of the most promising new treatments have been around for decades. Here's a brief history of medicine and some of its biggest breakthroughs and mistakes. For thousands of years, people used plants and other natural substances to treat illness and injury. This was the basis of traditional medicine in many cultures. Herbal remedies are still used today, but they've largely been overshadowed by modern medicine, which began to take shape in the 19th century. The germ theory of disease was proposed by Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch, who showed that microorganisms cause disease. This led to the development of vaccines and antibiotics, which have saved countless lives. But not all medical breakthroughs have been so beneficial. In the early 20th century, doctors began to use a drug called thalidomide to treat morning sickness in pregnant women. Thalidomide was a miracle drug, but it had a terrible side effect. It caused birth defects in thousands of babies. The drug was withdrawn from the market in the 1960s, but it remains one of the most infamous drugs ever used. Despite this, the pharmaceutical industry continued to grow. In the second half of the 20th century, several new drugs were developed that have had a major impact on human health. These include the polio vaccine, penicillin, and the first anti-cancer drugs. But these drugs were expensive, and not everyone could afford them. In the early 21st century, a new technology emerged that allowed for the mass production of cheap generic drugs. This made it possible for millions of people around the world to access the medications they need. One of the most important generic drugs is called artemisinin. This drug is used to treat malaria, and it has been a major factor in reducing the number of deaths from this deadly disease. CRISPR is a new gene editing technology that allows scientists to make precise changes to DNA. This has the potential to cure genetic diseases like cystic fibrosis and sickle cell anemia. CRISPR is still in the early stages of development, but it's already being used to treat some patients. The future of medicine is bright, but it's important to remember the mistakes of the past. The drugs and treatments we use today have been the result of years of research and development. They've saved countless lives, but they haven't always been without side effects. As we look to the future, let us hope that we can learn from our past mistakes and continue to develop new and better ways to treat disease and improve human health. That's 1 minute. See you next time.